No United Rugby Championship this weekend, but a lot of South African interest in the Champions Cup, quarterfinal playoffs, and also Munster, Leinster being their zells. That will also give us an idea, a full-strength Munster side, a full-strength Leinster side, what we are going to be facing if we want to win the United Rugby Championship, if not this year, moving forward. What do you make up of the four matchups?
Yeah, look, obviously four matches, including some of Europe's best teams. That's why they're there. Then I don't think they call it the Heineken Cup anymore. The Champions Cup quarterfinals. Leinster, Leicester, some interesting matchups there. South Africans loaded in many of these teams. And it's going to be great to just, I think for the local sides in the URC playoffs, or scheduled to go there, to sit back, kick their heels up and have a look at what these guys do in big game situations.
Yeah, I mean, it's also going to be a lesson to us moving forward. I think we've seen the Bulls do that in the Currie Cup and the URC, to take one squad and balance them between.
Yes.
When do they have Currie Cup commitments? When do they have URC commitments? Mm-hmm. The likes of Munster and Leinster have had to do that in the old Pro 14 and now the URC. They sent a young, inexperienced side, Leinster, to South Africa. They got 2 defeats, but their bigger fish to fry was Leicester away from home at Walford Road.
Yes.
And then the return leg, which would also potentially influence whether Leinster pick anything near their full-strength side to play Munster in the final league game. And if Munster are out and Leinster are still in, that could influence those team lineups, which could influence whether Munster finish second or finish sixth in the log. So while there is no URC, there's plenty URC.
There's permutations.
There's plenty URC this weekend. If we look at the big one, I've been going through all the previews up north. Leicester at home against Leinster. Now, their domestic form, a little bit indifferent. They've in Europe and domestically in the Premiership and obviously the URC, they've lost 2 of their last 5, but they have played very different squads.
Yes.
This also just give us an idea again of how good is this Leicester side under Steve Borthwick. How many advances have they made? And we'll get a bit of a like for like. How does Liebenberg and Jasper Wiese go against these
Leinster,
guys?
Yeah, the best. Yeah.
So, where's it going for you? Leicester, Leinster, they've played 4 times in the history of the Champions Cup. It's a 2-all, but in the last 5 or 6 years, Leinster, the Irish Giants, have been dominating.
And they will win again.
So you've got
Leinster for the win. Leinster to beat Leicester by 6 points. I'm going to make it 26-20.
At Walford Road.
It's happening.
Are you sure about that?
Leinster for the win. The Irish Heart.
So let's repeat that. You're saying that Leinster will go to Walford Road and win?
No. I'm saying Leinster are going to go to Walford Road
and beat Leicester.
Yes.
I say you got the L's wrong and you got the pronunciation. I'm going the English Old Giants of Martin Johnson folklore.
Oh, the Greens. Okay.
Leicester at home to win by 8.
Sure. What's the score? Give me the score.
29-21.
Okay.
I was going to say 29-20. I thought, but that's 9. 29-21.
Right.
And you've got a 26-20 reversal. So we are kind of like 15 points out in our predictions. That's fantastic.
Yes,
okay.
I love that.
All right, but that's a cracker to watch. You can follow that live on SuperSport. And it will be streamed live to you on SA Rugby Magazine's Flash Score. Okay. After Leicester have beaten Leinster and ensured that Leinster will play their full-strength side in the URC, we go Munster against Toulouse. Big game. An informed Toulouse side. Got the French golden generation there. But what they don't have
is Damien Delaney.
That's one thing they don't have. They don't have a current Springbok in their side.
Correct. Toulouse do have Randall Alstad, who's going to bring some heat there, I'm sure. But yeah, your point is well made.
He ain't no current Springbok, mate.
The crowd will be loud, and I've got Munster to win that one. I think it's going to be a cracker game. I think it'll be quite a low scoring game with a little bit of edge in it there, Mark.
That's it. I read a little preview that you spoke about a potential 69-point thriller.
No. Must have been another setting. Definitely not this guy.
Not that one. It's like a 36-33
Never!
game.
I'm talking about a 15-12, yeah. World Cup 1995 rematch.
All right, mate. What, are you talking about the first quarter? Or? Okay, so Munster against Toulouse. Again, big permutations for us in the URC. Munster go out. They play their full-strength side to knock over Leinster in their last league game and potentially come second in the URC and get a home semi-final.
Right.
So this is huge for the Sharks and the Stormers,
Yep.
will currently have 56 points on the log with Munster. So for our viewers, we keep on going back to the URC because the permutations in this weekend's Champions Cup quarterfinals are big when it comes to the final two placings.
Correct.
Or, well, number 2 placing. Leinster already through for a home semi-final and potentially a home final. Is it going to be Munster or does it potentially come to South Africa?
Yes.
So hugely significant whether Munster win or Munster lose. I've got Munster to win. I've got Munster to win by 10 points. And I think with Damien Dearlandy to continue his fine form,
Yes.
I've got Munster to take this game 30 points to 20. You heard it here first on
Cool.
SA Rugby Magazine show with the editor Zellum Nell, brought to you by Betway. All right, so we have radio silence there. Are you stunned that Munster will take it by 10?
I'm not at all stunned that Munster will win. I think 10 points is quite large. I think the bookies have actually got Toulouse to win this one. So they are the underdogs at home somehow. But yeah, I agree. Munster for the win.
Yeah, I think the bookies have said it's an easier bet to bet on Toulouse winning by 5 plus than for Munster to lose by 5 or less. So as explained to me by Oliver
Right.
a bit earlier when I was trying to still get this plus and minus thing going.
Okay.
So I've got Munster to win, and also there's a lot of family heritage there with my great grandfather from Cork, and so Munster is an adopted family team. On the emotional level, I've got them, but also with the quality of team they can put out.
Yep.
It's not the Munster of old, but it's a Munster still good enough to beat Toulouse.
I like it. Who's next on the menu?
So I've got Munster to go through, you've got Munster to go through.
Yeah.
You've got Leinster to go through, I've got Leicester to go through.
Yes.
Now we go to some French teams. We've got La Rochelle at home against Montpellier.
Oh, beautiful.
Montpellier, top of the top 14, Challenge Cup winners last year, and first time that they're in the quarterfinals of the Champions Cup.
Yes.
However, and with the French teams, there's always a big however. They've been knocked over in their last 2 league games.
Yeah.
They're still kind of hanging on to that 69-point precarious position after 24 rounds. La Rochelle at home, and the French team's home ground is such a big advantage. What have you got going there? What have you thought of La Rochelle? Montpellier, obviously, Andre Pollard playing. That's the big news. He was playing as we go live on this show. We hope to God he does get there by Saturday, given the injury curse that he's had while being at Montpellier. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, so Andre Pollard back for me is a huge boost for Montpellier, even though he hasn't played a lot of rugby. And yeah, he's a guy who's won big games his whole life. So I think he definitely adds value, maybe shaves the advantage that the bookies have given La Rochelle a little bit. But I think, like you say, La Rochelle at home, Dylan Lates, Raymond Rule, etc. I think the home team takes it.
Raymond Rule's done well for La Rochelle.
It's just his story is amazing. How he's left here, we expected him to kind of disappear into the French top 14, and the guy's absolutely thrived there.
Yeah, and he's loving it. I mean, I was watching a highlights package of some of the tries he scored, whether he's played on the wing or played in the midfield. He really, I think again one of those players that was never quite going to be good enough at Springbok level, but such a good player. He was a good player here in Super Rugby and Currie Cup, and he's really transferred that form to Europe. So kudos on what he's done. And Dylan Lates, let's not forget him. He's always a good player. He's done well.
Yep.
So if you look at that La Rochelle, they've got a combo of a few Kiwis, a few Aussies, a few South Africans. Montpellier at one stage, they used to call them like something very similar to the Springboks when Jake White was there. There were more Duplessis in that team than there were French players. As one of the French players said, when he didn't really like the style of play under Jake, he said, my rugby went backwards, but my English improved. And one of the things that the French players wanted to have put into their contract clauses at Montpellier is that they also get English lessons for free, like the South African players were getting French lessons.
Okay.
Pollard's still there. Reinach is injured. Jan Saffontein's injured. Not quite the South African. Paul Willemse, South African-born French. He's injured, so not quite the South African flavour to Montpellier. I've got La Rochelle at home to win by 12.
Ronan O'Gara, I'll give it to them, and I'm going to give them 8 points.
Okay, so we're agreeing on 2 now. And I hope Ronan O'Gara gets stuck into someone on the sideline, loving his little interactions, the way he kind of riles up the opposition coaches. Very passionate guy. They went close in the last 2 years, didn't quite get there. But I think at home, La Rochelle by 12, I've got them to win 32-20. I'm like playing around with those 30s and those 20s.
I hear that.
32-22 La Rochelle, a French team guaranteed to go through to the semi-final.
Lovely.
And then the last one we've got...
The Sunday match.
The Sunday match is South Africa B against France B. It's Racing 92 against Sail Sharks. Sail Sharks, many say the original Sharks. I'm still debating that with our KZN Sharks. But 12 South Africans who've played regularly, 11 expected to be in the match, 23. 4 of them will be leaving the club that we know of.
Right.
But the Dupree twins and Robert Dupree, the third brother, they'll still be there. I'm tempted.
Don't do it.
I'm tempted to say they're not going to win it.
They're not going to win
They're not going to win it because their form on the road
Yeah.
in the English Premiership has never been good. It's like that old South African mentality of we don't travel that well, but my God, can we play at home?
You can't beat us at home, yeah.
What have you got winning there, mate?
I think Racing takes us quite comfortably, and I think Trevor Nyakani has a good day at the office.
Yes, I love Trevor Nyakani, and I mean we didn't know if he'd get it through any matches when he got there. He's been playing regularly, scoring tries.
Through the bakery, though.
He's scoring tries. He's tossing his daughter up in the air in celebrations every time. He seems to have really fitted in nicely, and it's great to see him play. I just hope he transfers that form through to the Springboks, and we actually get a good season out of him, because every time he shows a hint of going 3-4 games in succession, it's a calf or it's a hamstring or it's something.
Yeah.
So good to see him also prospering there. Of the South African players, there may be that emotion. A lot of them want to go out on a high, especially a Lut and a Faf.
And a Faf, yep.
But I do think, again, this match is played in Manchester. Sale get it. Played in Paris. I'm giving it to Racing. And sticking with what I've been saying, I'm going with another 10-pointer.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, exactly.
What?
Yes.
You agreeing with me again?
Yes, I'll take that. So I'm going to say Racing, yeah, definitely.
Okay, give me a score.
I'm going to say 32-22.
Okay, I'm not going to be that liberal. I'm going to go with a 28-18 victory for Racing. And Trevor Nyakani to celebrate afterwards.
No.
So, if we look at those permutations and what should happen, semi-finals will be then the next weekend with the URC also rests. And you're looking at either it's Munster or Toulouse who will play against Leicester or Leinster.
Yep.
So it could be an all-Irish semi-final, and it's Racing or Sale who will play against La Rochelle or Montpellier. To recap, your 4 winners for the weekend?
So I went with Leinster, Munster, La Rochelle, and Racing.
All right. The only difference there is I'm going with Leicester and not Leinster. All right. So 3 out of 4, we in agreement?
Yeah, you spoke about it earlier. If Munster and Leinster do go through to the semi-final and then play each other the week after that in the URC, that'll be a lot of Irish action.
It's going to be a lot of academy players. It's going to be an academy match, and I think the Leinster Academy is stronger than the Munster Academy. So what we don't want happening is that Leinster go through and Munster don't.
Yeah.
Because Munster are going to send that full strength side.
Correct.
To knock over Leinster's academy players, and that means doesn't matter what happens to the Sharks and Stormers, they won't
can't
end
get to
second.
two, yeah.
And that's an away potential semi-final.
Correct.
If they still end in the top 4, they get to host the quarterfinal in South Africa, and the Sharks and the Stormers, they are our best option to do that at the moment. The Bulls, they're through to the last 8. In all probability, they will be travelling. What they will be hoping for is to potentially end 5th, and they travel as far as Cape Town or Durban before they get on a plane if they win that one. So plenty of wonderful action this weekend, but watch it with your URC cap as well, because the permutations that we said are massive in the context of those semi-finals in the URC and potentially a final. And while everything points to a Leinster hosting the final, what kind of state are they going to be in by the time, hopefully, the Stormers get there? Well, have you got the Sharks?
No.
Or Jake's Bulls? One of the South African teams. Thanks, Els. Always a pleasure.
Nice, Mark. Well done.
And thanks for that 69-point thriller.